at some point, I just saw my boys taking off their clothes. My children were just taking off their clothes. I was like, what's going on? They had their bath before I left the house, so something is definitely not right. Then I saw where she was, demonstrating to my kids how to sleep with each other. Jesus, like
what?
I couldn't even process what I was seeing. Like it was like they're acting, or there was I can't even say. So my first child was just refusing, and she was like, she now took off her clothes at that point, now forcing my kids to to sleep with her, like to give her head, like to
Yay.
I didn't at that point I didn't know when I screamed at the salon, like my phone fell off my hands and I just ran out.
Hello guys, Sugar Plum here again, and this is Confess with Sugar. And you guys already know how we do it here, so there will be no use of name or use of any means of identification. So we have a guest here, so I am just going to give her the floor to voice out her confession. So you can start.
All right, thank you very much. So it started after my marriage, when I had my 3 kids and my husband is not always around. So the workload was just too much on me and I needed a helping hand. I contacted my mother and asked her if she can send me someone. She has anyone she can send to me to assist me, especially with the kids. She actually sent me few pictures, which I liked one of them, and she happened to send that person to my house as a maid. The girl was 15, 16 years old when she came. I liked her very much, and I'm this person that I really don't like, seeing others like putting this demarcation, like this is mine and this is not mine. So I saw her like my own family. And we started living together. I enrolled her in a secondary school as well, so that she doesn't feel, maltreated. My kids are going to school and she's not. So, and basically I brought her because of my kids, so what's the essence keeping her at home or she's staying at home? And since she's not done with school, I decided to enroll her in school. So she was going to school, same with my kids. They come back same time. So whenever I'm back from work, and I just feel like it went a long way helping me and all of that. I just needed that break. I needed assistance so I don't feel too exhausted at the time. But I noticed that whenever I come back, whenever I'm around, my kids are not always that free with her. Even when I'm like, go and play or go and meet your sister, because I call her, I like them addressing her as sister, So, but my first son, he doesn't really know how to express himself. But I noticed that most times when I come back from work, he's just trying to tell me something, but based on workload and stress and all of that, I don't just pay listening ears. I'll just tell him to go, yes, just go out to your room or go and play. But this fateful day, my second son, he was able to, pass this message. But being a child, I found it so difficult to, believe, or maybe I was getting the negative part of what he was trying to tell me. So there's a day I was going through my TikTok and I saw a video of a lady expressing, or rather, she was just crying about a lot of things and how it ruined her children's life and stuff like that. But I didn't want to believe it, all this online stuff. I didn't want to believe it. At the same time, I reflected back on what my children was maybe trying to pass to me, and I decided to do one thing from the video I watched, which was install a secret CCTV to really see what's going on. At least as children, if they really can't pass the message or tell me what's going on, I can see for myself, you know. So I secretly installed the camera in the kitchen, in the room, in the kids' room, and in my living room, without anybody's knowledge, not even my husband, because I really don't want, you know, anybody to understand until I get, let just be that it's my instinct that is wrong or the children are saying something else. So I installed the CCTV, and on this fateful day, I just noticed the maid was in the kitchen. She was cooking and she removed her pad. At first, I was like, why remove your pad in the kitchen? Even if maybe you wanted to change or anything, it shouldn't be in the kitchen. So I watched closely, and to my greatest surprise, God, she was washing her pad, the menstruation, into the food she was cooking. That was supposed to be for my kids, myself, and my husband.
Jesus.
I couldn't believe it. Like it was like a movie. I couldn't really understand what was going on. I like Jesus Christ. But then this wasn't what my children was trying to say to me. And I can't just if I let her know that I was watching or I know what she has done since I wasn't there, she would definitely not, you know, maybe adjust. I won't see the whole of it. So I decided to hold myself. And that night, I didn't allow anybody eat the food. I gave my kids fruits. And she said she was okay. She wasn't going to eat. Because I wanted her to actually eat from what she has made. But she was like, I don't want to force her anyways. Like I said, I didn't want her to feel like I know what she was doing. So thank you. I just gave everybody fruits and they went to sleep. I was awake all through the night, you know, disturbed, and trying to see if I was going to find out any other thing about what she has been doing. But maybe because of my reaction or my questioning about the food, she decided to, you know, take a pause or so. So the next day was Saturday, and I went to the salon to make my hair, and I was still watching the house through my phone. You know, I connected the CCTV to my phone. So while I was in the salon, I checked the kitchen again, but there was nobody in the kitchen, there was nobody in the sitting room. Then I switched to the children's room, and they were all there, you know. So Jesus Christ. Yes, my 3 kids, 2 boys, a girl, and this maid. So they were just in the room. I was like, okay, maybe they were just talking or so. But to my greatest surprise, at some point, I just saw my boys taking off their clothes. My children were just taking off their clothes. I was like, what's going on? They had their bath before I left the house, so something is definitely not right. Then I saw where she was, you know, demonstrating to my kids how to sleep with each other. Jesus, like
what?
I couldn't even process what I was seeing. Like it was like they're acting, or there was I can't even say how did we get here? Like, how did this happen? So, you know, my first child was just, you know, refusing, and she was like, she now took off her clothes at that point, now forcing my kids to, you know, to sleep with her, like to give her head, like to
Yay.
I didn't at that point I didn't know when I screamed at the salon, like my phone fell off my hands, and I just ran out.
But I feel a lot.
I didn't know how I managed to drive home. I got home and I met them still in the scene, like they were still in the room and all. I I beat hell out of her. Like I didn't even know what to do. I couldn't even tell my husband because how will I even how will I even open my mouth to tell him that a girl I brought, and this child coming from my mom. I wouldn't.
Oh,
Yes,
for her.
I couldn't even believe nobody. Even if someone has told me or told my mom, I believe she would never agree or accept that this child of 16, because she stayed with us for like 3 years before I noticed this. So a child of, let's say at that time 18, could do such a thing. So I couldn't tell. I just called my mom, like she should give me details of where this girl came from, stories about her, and even everything she told me. There was nothing, there was no trace of such an act. So I was curious what happened. If it was something you were doing before you came to my house, I would have said, okay, it's an addiction or something. But why start it here? Why?
Did she learn it?
Where did you learn it from and all of that? So she started crying that she felt, you know, like we had, me and my children, my family, we had a better life, and she's just a maid. But I enrolled you in school, you eat what my children eat, you sleep. So there was literally no, you can't.
Is it your fault that she's a
I don't understand. Am I your mother? Am I your uncle? Did I force you to? I pay you. I still enrolled you in school. I feed you well. I clothe. I even sent gifts and money to your family every festive period. So why do you want to destroy my children's life, my marriage? So imagine my husband finding out himself and not me. Do you know what, like, it will cost me a lot. I can't even recover from that.
Jesus.
All I did was just
I'm so shocked. Like the amount of evil in these children's mind. Like I don't understand it.
up till date I couldn't even figure out where she learned the real reason. Maybe someone sent, I don't know. It just felt like somebody sent her to cause me harm or destroy my children's life. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't arrest her. I just bundled her back to where she was coming from. And since then I vowed never
In your life.
in my whole life, and even the life next to come, will I get a maid for any. If I like, maybe the work they choke me. Like I rather quit the job. I had to quit my job because it was, at that point, it was demanding. I couldn't.
Because at least your children, like,
Yes.
be traumatized.
At that point, all I could think of was, is it because of this job that my children had to go through this? Imagine I didn't discover this at this point. Imagine what they have gone through before now. So I had to leave the job and look for something less demanding of my time.
More. God saved you.
Up to today, I'm still apologizing to my kids for, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. All the while they were trying to explain to me, trying to communicate to me. This was what was going on, and I was just, me being tired because of work, sending them. But we never.
Well, thank God you found out on time. Jesus Christ, how evil can somebody be at a very young age?
You can imagine someone like, I pay her, I send money to her family. I just see her like family, especially because it's coming from my mom.
Yes.
So,
it's not your fault, though. You're a nice person. It's not your fault that you're a nice person. But please, mothers, be careful out there. Be very careful. Even these small children, now them on their own worse. Adults, wahala. Kids, problem. Please, we should be careful because, God, I beg. You just stay, you think your children are safe. You don't know that somebody is somewhere spoiling
I'm
them.
telling you.
Spoiling them. Imagine what that small brat was doing. Hey. God, I beg. Oh. Anyway, people have heard it because of people that want to carry maid, carry 5 maid and put. Please stay around and watch your children. Stay around and raise them, especially when they are trying to tell you something. Stay. Try to understand what they
Try
are
to
saying.
listen.
Try to listen to them before you send them away. Listen. Please, oh. Anyway, please share this video to as many as possible. This can help a lot of people, because so many people now I will just born, una no go know how una go take care of, especially all these young girls wey even dey secondary school. Una don born finish, later una go just carry pikin give person dey do una own life. People should hear oh, if you are not stable enough, please don't give birth to a child. And if you have a maid, make sure you
Watch
into
them closely.
Suspect anybody. Once it comes to raising your kids, suspect everybody. Everybody is a suspect.
Yes.
I'll see you guys on my next episode. Bye.